Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001, but more importantly, we're booking the invasion angle. That started to become like a catchphrase or some shit. Okay, either way, we are booking Sunday Night Heat tonight. Nothing too special. There is an overarching storyline as always, but it's been a storyline we've kind of been ignoring, so I'm happy with the way Sunday Night Heat turned out. I would enjoy this episode. So we start off with a C, start off with a C rating. And Heat starts off with Steven Richards. In the middle of the ring, he has a megaphone a la Jimmy Hart style. And he just keeps shouting, no, 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 over and over again before he goes, shut off that camera, stop the feed, Sunday Night Heat will not be airing tonight or ever again. Heat is in violation of code number 69, the showing of way too many scantily clad women week after week after week after week after week, and so on and so forth. He keeps going until he's interrupted by the music of Edge, not Rob Zombie, just You Think You Know Me. But interrupted by the music of Edge, he makes his way down to the ring, not the entryway, in the ring with Steven Richards, and he says, Stevie. And of course, when he calls him Stevie, Richards gets mad if anyone calls him Stevie. His name is Steven Richards. He's not Stevie Richards anymore. So Richards gets a little mad there, and Edge says, if I can borrow a quote from my good friend Chris Jericho, would you please shut the hell up? I mean, can we shut off his mic instead of shutting off the show? Stevie, I think you're the only man in existence to want to shut down a show because it shows too many beautiful women. I mean, I didn't know you rolled that way, but, you know, Stevie, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'll tell you what, Stevie, the only thing that's going to get shut down tonight is you. And I think the real reason you want to shut down Sunday Night Heat is because you're facing me. Wow, Sunday Night Heat, we have to bring this up. Isn't that impressive? Because you're facing me in tonight's main event. Richards then replies, that's absurd. Don't flatter yourself, Edge. You know, I was going to shut down this show, but instead I think I'm going to use it to make an example out of you tonight. And then Edge responds, is that so? Let's just make sure it's a one-on-one match then, and you leave your goons in the back. And then Richard says, or else what? What are you going to do, Edge? And then Edge replies, I'm not going to do anything. It's what these guys are going to do. And then we hear the Dudley Boyz music hits, and they make their way down to the ring. Of course, you know, both Devon and Bubba get in the ring. Richards gets out of the ring. He wants nothing to do with them. And then I'd imagine the announcers, who at the moment are Kevin Kelly and Scott Hudson, but Taz is back from his suspension. But since I have Paul Heyman now on SmackDown, I figured, you know what, Taz? You effed up anyway. Let's get you demoted down the Sunday Night Heat for now. So Taz is also on commentary with Kevin Kelly and Scott Hudson on Sunday Night Heat. At least, you know, for the rest of the show. Not for the first match, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, it did deserve better announcing, but what can you do? Steven Richards was unfortunately very underwhelming, but again, what can you do? He's a lower mid-carder, so we're building him up. So we move on to the next match, which we did hear was going to, you know, the Dudley Boyz are in action next. It is a WWF versus WCW match. It gets a C rating. And about that had decent wrestling, but not much Wayne Heat. Dudley Boyz defeating the team of Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak when Devon Dudley defeated Sean Stasiak with a 3D. Of course, Bubba and Devon have great chemistry, or excellent chemistry, teaming with each other. Again, deserve much better announcing, but not much we can do there. Both Bubba and Devon had an in-ring performance at a B. Sean Stasiak better than Mark Jindrak. He got a D+ to Mark Jindrak's D. And you'll notice that the Right to Censors versus Dudley Boyz storyline advanced here. I almost forgot the word to use. That is because instead of having Scott Hudson on commentary, instead we had Kevin Kelly and Taz on commentary, along with Steven Richards being a guest color commentator, since he was already out there and kind of like, you know what, I'm going to scout the Dudleys a little bit more, I guess. And probably putting over a little bit of the main event tonight as well. So Mark Jindrak is improving in performance, and Sean Stasiak is improving in technical. We then go on to another C. And, wow. I was reading a little bit of the Road Agent Report, but we'll get there. And this was our local talent. Like I said, I'm going to try to always either have a developmental guy or some local indie talent on the Sunday Night Heat shows. So this was our local talent, Lodi. He's a former WCW guy, so I thought it would be fun to maybe have the announcers put over, or the commentators put over, the fact that Malenko issued an open challenge to any former WCW cruiserweight contender. I wasn't going to say cruiserweight, champions, because I thought Lodi was a cruiserweight champion at one point. I was incorrect. So we just went ahead and we're going to say, he issued a challenge to any of the former cruiserweights from WCW and to come and accept his challenge, and Lodi was one of those guys. Why not? That's why the light heavyweight title's on the line. So we had a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Malenko defeating Lodi by the submission, or via the submission, not by, with the Texas Cloverleaf, my favorite submission hold. And he makes his second defense of the light heavyweight championship. So the pretty vocal crowd didn't seem particularly thrilled with seeing Lodi wrestle. Whatever. At least the performance of Malenko stood out as being good. Dean got a B- to Loki's E+, or not Loki. Loki. Yeah, that's what I meant, right? Lodi's E+. So this just further proves that Malenko, I think we've seen it in the creative meeting a couple of times where it's under the Ring Generals, tab, which shows pretty much guys who can have good matches with just about anyone. And Malenko was on that list, so this kind of proves it. Because if the fans didn't like Lodi, I don't know why this would have got a C, but what can you do? I guess you can't do anything, because that's good anyway. So we move on to our next segment, which is our, reoccurring, annual, call it what you'd like, weekly, Raw Recap, Smackdown Rewind segment. Just pretty much going over, the events that took place between Jericho, Rock, DDP, and Booker T, taking place between Booker T and Kurt Angle. Not Booker T and Kurt Angle. It should say Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. I messed up. But Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle, and then, of course, with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, pretty much just recapping how Rock battled Booker on SmackDown, or not SmackDown, on Raw, and DDP and Jericho kind of got involved. Same, vice versa on SmackDown with Jericho and DDP, where Rock and Booker kind of got involved, and then we also saw Benoit and Angle in that segment as well, along with, Benoit and Angle officially confirming their last man standing match at SummerSlam, and then, of course, with the mixed tag team match between Austin and Triple H, where Austin was teaming with Deborah, and Triple H was supposed to team with Stephanie McMahon, but instead Stephanie was too, air quotations, injured, and instead was replaced with Trish Stratus, and at the very end of the match, Triple H pedigreeing Deborah to kind of send a message to Austin. So, of course, the announcing job by both Kevin Kelly and Scott Hudson was pretty weak. Doesn't really matter, though. It did get the crowd hotter, and it does push along these storylines. Unfortunately, it lost the Triple H Stone Cold storyline some heat, so that sucks. But it gained Jericho and Booker T heat, so I guess that's cool. So we go on to our main event of the night, which gets a C. So every match tonight got a C, I believe. We got a C, and about that had decent wrestling, but not much weight in heat. Steven Richards, nerds and geeks, defeated Edge. I guess Ivory made her return. Sure, let's say Ivory made her return. Why not? Ivory returns. That's the big angle. I didn't even plan that. Ivory returns, cost Edge this match. And the way I was imagining it, but we can still play along with this, is basically Richards, quick roll-up, grabs the tights, 1, 2, 3, and of course, that kind of, hypocritical here, Steven Richards, being all high and mighty, talking about how we need to ban this because this, and that, the children, blah, blah, blah. And he has to, grab the tights of Edge. Surprisingly, Edge was not mad that we had him lose. How did this lose heat? You would think that this would gain more heat. I'm not going to complain. Richards was off his game. Come on, Steven Richards. What are you doing? Come on, Steven Richards. Ivory did some good work ringside. Edge with a B- performance to Richards D+. So maybe not the smartest person or smartest decision to put Richards over, but I thought it would be kind of a shock finish. Everyone thinks Edge is going to win. Richards comes away with this, tainted victory. Kind of, pushing the storyline a little bit further as well. I'm expecting a good, a C+. I was expecting just a C, but I'll take a C+. So yeah, let's double check this real quick. C, yeah, everything but the Raw recap got a C. That Raw recap probably gave it the C+. Not a bad Sunday Night Heat. In fact, I'm satisfied with it. I don't know how the Dudley Boyz Right to Censor feud lost heat, but whatever. We got number 2. And Jim Ross apparently is the best announcer in wrestling today. After literally thousands of votes, he was confirmed the winner. John Stasiak just doesn't get it, in my opinion. The kid can probably be cut loose. That is Dave Hebner's opinion on Sean Stasiak. They didn't really know. Okay. Whatever. That's going to... Actually, before we end off this episode, I wanted to check the Dudley Boyz storyline. See where it's at now. Where am I? Am I missing it? No, it's right here. It's at a C. I'm not complaining with that. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done already. And as always, my name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. And I will see you guys for Monday Night Raw, which will be the go-home show to SummerSlam. So that'll be exciting. So until then, have a wonderful day, guys.